Greetings and salutations, YouTube. This is Fragments of Memory. As you know, R. Kelly was accused of marrying a 15-year-old girl by the name of one Aaliyah. He's been accused of sexual misconduct with many young ladies, and as of late, he is alleged to have a sex cult where women are basically locked in his house. And they can't leave, and they can only use phones designated by him, and they can't call their families. Bill Cosby was exposed as cheating on his wife and having a child from that union. And of course, there were rape charges. Recently, there have been many women who have claimed that Bill Cosby administered drugs to them and, of course, took advantage of them sexually. I remember back in the 1990s, Mike Tyson was accused of rape, and I believe he had to go to prison for that. There was also domestic violence when he was married to Robin Givens, and there were allegations that he had beat on this woman. Michael Jackson was accused of molesting underage boys. Michael Vick dogfighting. O.J. Simpson was accused of killing his former wife Nicole Brown Simpson and her friend Ron Goldman. Eddie Long was accused of molesting some young boys that he was mentoring. Creflo Dollar made a statement where he said, "I wish we could line up all the non-tithers and shoot them." He also set up a fund GoFundMe page, as well as asked his church to donate and tithe so that he can buy a $65 million private jet. Jesse Jackson, he was accused of infidelity, and of course he fathered a child out of wedlock from that infidelity. Your pastor at your local congregation or your city council politician, you insert your scandal here, whatever it might be. I mention all those people just to say that we as black people are quick to defend our heroes, our celebrities, and the people we've placed on high pedestals in our minds from scrutiny, any kind of scrutiny. Because we as black people, we collectively view the legal system as being rigged against us. Many of us see the legal system as the white man's system, or it's the white man's weapon. And they use that weapon to strike at our heroes. So when you strike at our heroes, you're striking at us. And many times often we like to defend our heroes from attack. And unfortunately, we live in a society that is media driven and media conscious. So sometimes we try the case in the court of public opinion instead of the actual court of law. So what happens is media is seen as a tool for white supremacy and racism, or it's seen as an agent of white supremacy, racism, etc. So of course, when you attack, let's say, Bill Cosby, you attack all of us. You also attack all of our memories. We remember things like The Cosby Show. We remember O.J. doing the Hertz commercials. We remember Creflo inspiring us with his speeches. We remember those things. So when you come after that person for what they've been accused of, we see it as you're attacking us and you're attacking our memories. You're attacking the things that we hold sacred and holy and sacrosanct. So we, in essence, are vicariously experiencing the defeat and the victory through our heroes. Instead of going out and doing things for ourselves, and I mentioned this in a past video many years ago, we look to someone else and try to take our cues from them. Like recently, and switching gears just a little bit, recently, Rachel Lindsay just completed her run of The Bachelorette, and many black women tuned in, and they saw Rachel Lindsay as being this desirable woman, as being desired by many groups of men, not just black men. Because usually the narrative in our media has been black women are undesirable. So when they see Rachel Lindsay getting desired, everybody lost their mind, and everybody sort of is becoming Rachel Lindsay by living vicariously through her being the Bachelorette and finding love. Because many black women feel that not only have they not been validated by black men, they've not been validated by the culture at large. They're not even being validated by black men. Same thing with Serena Williams and her engagement to the co-founder of Reddit. Everybody's so happy because ultimately Serena Williams is the proxy from which black women can feel like they're winning. Not judging, not condemning, not co-signing, just saying this is what goes on. So in a sense, both Serena Williams and Rachel Lindsay, and even Ciara with Russell Wilson after having Future's baby, black women see this as, in spite of the pitfalls that are hurled at the black woman, the stigma of being the single mom, the stigma of being the baby mama, or the stigma of being the unmarriageable type. Now you see these three black women that are being loved, that are being cherished, that are being propped up and validated. Because representation is important, and I've spoken about how my mother would always try to find action figures for me, dolls for my sister, that were at least a black equivalent. Black or a black equivalent to say, hey, get something that looks like you. Representation is important. And validation, that's a word that's used by another YouTuber by the name of Chrissy of Divine Dark Skin, where she talks a lot about validation. And of course, black women aren't receiving validation from their own community. So, and again, these women become heroes. So if anyone were to say something disparaging of Serena Williams or Rachel Lindsay or Ciara, those same black women would feel some kind of way, because in a sense, not only are you attacking my hero, by attacking my hero, you are vicariously attacking me. And any attempt to disparage our heroes is met with vociferous outcry because of the lack of representation, validation, and promotion. We are going to feel some kind of way when the little bit we have is being taken from us. And that might be in the form of entertainers or religious figures or sports heroes. We want heroes. I think to a certain degree, we need heroes to a certain point. But when it gets to hero worship, that's when we have a problem, because the moment you put your trust in any person, they're going to let you down, because people are basically flawed. We have our flaws, we have our hopes, we have our dreams, we have our foibles, we have our shine, we have our flaws, So when we don't do what we need to do, i.e. learn the lessons from the hero, try to apply it in your life, but don't try to make the hero your template and get all your cues from your heroes. Because if you really think about all the people that we've made as heroes, they're removed from the everyday people. A brother like me who works a food service job, clocking in, clocking out, I'm never going to meet a Ciara. I'm never going to meet a Rachel Lindsay. Rachel Lindsay's an educated sister with many degrees, etc., etc. She's not a sister who's working at Walmart. So sometimes we get so caught up in them that we forget, oh yeah, they're still in these upper echelons and we're not. Another thing, any attempt to disparage our heroes, well, no, I've already went to that point. And that goes back to what I was saying. We defend our heroes right or wrong. We build our lives, our hopes, our dreams on the backs of our heroes. So our hero has to sort of take up a load and be the how do I put this? Have to be the atlas for the race, so to speak, and carry the load of the race. And to quote someone, Wayne Dyer, late great Wayne Dyer, if you know who he is, great. If you don't, Google him. But he wrote in his book, Your Erroneous Zones, where he talked about, there was a line he drew in the book. And in the book, on the line, there was blame, and on the other end was hero worship. And on that line, it was the focusing on others line. And that spelled an acronym of FOOL. So we're foolish when we try to continually blame and or hero worship, because ultimately, at the end of the day, we're left with us and we have to make our choices, good or bad. In fact, I'm reminded of Whitney Houston's song, The Greatest Love of All, and how in The Greatest Love of All, there was a lyric that basically said, everybody's searching for a hero. People need someone to look up to. You know, so we're in that situation collectively as black people here in the United States, that we're looking for somebody to look up to and follow their example, because in many ways we are lost. So when one attacks the heroes that we have, we feel some kind of way, because in a sense, you're taking away my light. You're taking away my joy. You're taking away my hope. But remember, at the end of the day, your heroes are people just like you, whether they have a lot of money or whether they have no money. And I think it does yourself a disservice when all you do is focus on the hero and forget to realize that there is a hero that lies in you. I say this to myself as I'm saying it to you. Peace, be easy like Sunday morning, and take care.